to say with Sister Mills, there's a tremendous load on all that's taken apart in it. Brother Sowders, what should I do about my son-in-law? Putting a television set in my house. He seems to think he has a right to put it in since he is living there. Is it wrong for saints to look at television? Please answer today. Well, I was looking through a magazine called Life, and God almost killed me right there in my chair. And I immediately put that in the fire. Made you know right there that there were pictures in these magazines that we've got no business looking on. And the most corrupt pictures that can be made and published, they're doing that. That is, as far as the law allows them to go. And the most corrupt literature with pictures and so forth today is the most saleable. It's because the world has gotten to a place where they're demanding the most corrupt stuff that can be put out. Picture shows today. It used to be that picture shows started with the Passion show that played, and the children of Israel's journeys through the wilderness and through the Red Sea and things like that. Them were nice, they were lovely, very educational, spiritually speaking. But the time came when people wouldn't look at that. They demanded something worse and worse and worse and worse until they got it today, just reality, you might say, right there on the screen. And the most corrupt they'll put up there, the more they'll get. Come just look at it. The more money they'll make out of it. Now, I, as a saint of God, I wouldn't want that in my house. And I'm very careful. In fact, I don't play my radio, I don't suppose, from an average of once a month. This morning I was hunting for what is called the Catholic hour, but I didn't find it. I may have been too early for it, however, I didn't find it. I'm not acquainted with the programs in so much that I can tell you just when they come and go. And let me say something about the radio. The first radio I bought, wife and I became very interested right away. And you'll do that if you're not careful. Some people are more apt to be that way than others, but however, I was that way. And we had the radio playing, and her and I were lying in the bed with our, I don't know what we were reading, literature. It was either the daily paper or some religious literature, and also listening at that radio. It was a new thing, and we were sort of interested in it. And I had a dream that night. I dreamed that I was sitting in a skiff. That's a boat on the river. And my anchor was in something out there ahead of it. And whatever that was that my anchor was cast into was taking me down the river so fast that I just thought we were going to capsize, we were going to turn over, we were going to upend something. I said, something's going to happen here. Look out, watch yourself, hold tight. And we were just going at a breakneck speed down the river. I woke up the next morning. I didn't have to pray much over that. I said, Lord, what is that dream? The Lord plainly showed me that dream is your radio. That you had your anchor in is your radio. And if you continue on with your anchor in that, you'll sink, you'll drown, you'll perish in the high sea. Well, I knew immediately that it wasn't God's will for me to allow myself to become interested in the radio. Well, I took my radio then and used it for nothing else but religious programs. But finally it got to where there was scarcely anything in that, so I just set it aside more or less. And I'll say this, that anything like that you get interested in, you're casting your anchor into that thing. It's becoming your life. But we have an anchor, Paul said, and that which reaches within the veil. Christ is within the veil tonight. He's beyond the second veil, in third heaven. And if we could just cast our anchor in Him, and let Him become our all in all, and let Him make it so interesting for us that nothing else will matter, we'll be all right. But where your heart is, there is your treasure also. Or where your treasure is, there is your heart also. And this case, where you're speaking about a television in your home, the son-in-law wants to put one in there. I don't know how your home is situated, whether you're a married person or whether you have children or whether your husband is saved or unsaved, or what it might be. It might be a husband writing this. It might be a wife writing it. But if you've got children, I believe I'd have to tell the son-in-law, and I don't know who he might be, no, you can't put a television set in my house. And that's what I tell him. If you want to run your house right, that's the way to run it. Because you have your little children looking at all of that damnable stuff, and I couldn't make it worse, but that's about as bad as I can make it. Coming into your home daily. And all this love junk. Oh, junk. Why don't you know that your little children sit around there and get wise to what they're trying to portray there on the air? Sure they are. And the most corrupt they can make it, the most corrupt they can make it sound, the better they like it. And the more the world likes it, and the more the world demands just that kind of junk. The world's living on that kind of stuff. That's its life. But we're not of the world. And since we're not of the world, we can't partake of the things of the world, and he would be a friend of the world, who loved the world, the love of the Father not in him. And for that reason, your home will never be again. After you put in a television set, like it was previous at the time. Never will be again. Because that will certainly corrupt the spirit of your home. It will prevent you from raising your children the way they ought to be raised. We should raise our children in the fear of the Lord. We should tell them all about the Lord. But maybe you do in the other room. You're telling them all about the Lord, and the devil's telling you all about the devil in the other room there. And our children will just naturally go in the wrong way to follow the lines of least resistance, and therefore there's something in them that craves that. From a little child, it craves that. And if you put it in their home, they've got it right in their home. The devil has used everything that God has permitted men to invent in these last days. Knowledge has increased in a wonderful way in the last 50, 75 years. And you can take everything that has been invented in these last days because of the knowledge that God has permitted men to have. Everything they have invented has been the means of corrupting our people or destroying humanity. Talk about the automobile. It's the wonderful transportation. But it's the corruptible thing that ever was. It's the damnablest curse that was ever brought to our country. The automobile. Yes, it is. There's more corruption in the automobile than anything else. More young women have lost their virtue. More young men have went to the dogs and automobiles and any other thing. And so used to say anything about the airplanes and things like that. Well, there's not so much going on in the airplane, but it's certainly a very destructible invention and will eventually bring an end to this world. And the radio has been said, of course, it's the most grandest thing in the world, greatest means of getting the gospel to the people throughout the world. It is, yes. But on the other hand, it's damned the world more than any other thing was ever invented to get the voice